This is a budget device from Samsung which released in 2015. Under the hood, this device got 12-core processor, 512 MB of RAM and 4 GB internal storage. And the device is running on Android 4.4 KitKat. And as you know, I have been reviewing this kind of devices very long now, and Android 4.4 is not really that usable. But as far as this device goes, if you really want to use this device as a dumb phone, still it's pretty much usable because it got 3G. As a dumb phone, you can still listen music and still take phone calls and messaging. That's good and still pretty much usable like that. Now there is a big issue with Samsung devices. First of all, Samsung releases device with the same name in different years, and if you download a wrong ROM for your device and flash it, it's going to break your device. To download a suitable ROM for your device, first of all, what you have to do is download any software which can show you hardware info. So here I am using hardware info application, as you can see here. Now you have to find the device specific code name. So the device code name of this device is actually, as you can see here, J113G. So this is the code name of the device. So if you go with the model name like SMJ100ML, in that case you might download a different ROM for your device, and if you flash it, it's going to break your device. So if you go with like the code name of the device, you will get this perfect ROM for your device. So now today we're going to flash custom ROM on this device, and I have already downloaded few ROMs for this device. So on my computer screen, as you can see here, we have 3 ROMs here: Europea O, Flame and Resurrection Remix. Today we are going to flash Resurrection Remix here, and also we have TWRP and the stock firmware. So if anything goes wrong, I can still flash the stock ROM here and use the device. And also we have Odin to flash TWRP. And in case if I need to flash stock ROM, I can use Odin to flash the stock ROM here. Few things you have to prepare first of all. First of all, you have to install driver on your computer. So I have already downloaded driver for this device and installed it. So you can download driver directly from Samsung website, and also the Odin and other specific file like ROM and TWRP. So to flash TWRP, you have to use computer. Other you can't do that without computer. But for ROM, you can use computer or you can flash it directly from TWRP if you copy the file to your SD card. But here I will use computer. I'm not going to copy the file over to my device SD card. So what we have to do first, we have to boot the device to download mode. So to do that, we have to remove the back cover of the device, and we will remove the battery. So we remove the battery. So now the device is completely shut down. Now I can put the battery back and we will boot the device to download mode. So to put the device into download mode, we will press volume down button, power button and home button simultaneously all together. So as you can see here, our device is now on download mode. Now the download mode in different devices look different. On this device look like this, but in later Samsung devices it looks different. The process I'm showing here, you can use it on any Samsung devices, and basically you can flash ROM on any Samsung devices if you follow this tutorial. So now we will connect our device to PC, connected, and we will press volume up to continue. So now it is in download mode. Now we have to open Odin software, and so you can download Odin directly from the website. There are a lot of them and there are different versions. You can use any of them. So Odin, and now open Odin. So after opening Odin, you will see something like this COM32, or it could be different for your device, but you will see something here. If you don't see something here, that means the driver of your device is not installed properly on your computer. So you have to install driver. Now we have to select our TWRP. We will select API here and select the TWRP file. So I have 2 TWRP file here, as you can see here. One of them is version 3. This one is 2. Here actually I'm going to flash Resurrection Remix ROM, which required TWRP 3.7. So I'm using TWRP 7 here. So select it. And one more thing we have to do here is actually we have to go to option and untick auto reboot. So if you do auto reboot, it will reboot the device to the stock ROM and you will lose the TWRP. So what you have to do is just untick it. Now we have to flash the TWRP. So now we can press start button to flash TWRP. Just press flash. And as you can see here, recovery and reset and pass. And as you can see here, there is a bar, and the flashing of TWRP is finished now. Now we can disconnect our device and we'll boot the device to TWRP. So now we will remove the battery again. And in case if you cannot remove the battery on your device, you can directly boot actually, like pressing the buttons without like removing the battery. So now we will put the device to TWRP. We will press home button, power button and volume up button to boot into TWRP. So press three of them together. So as you can see here, the TWRP is booted now. So now we have to do one thing first. We have to pack up our stock ROM. So I'm not going to do that, but if you have only this device and if you use this device regularly, then you should make a backup. So you can go to backup section here and you just backup system data and boot on your SD card. Then if anything goes wrong, you can just restore it back and you can still use the device. So here I'm not going to do that. Now first thing we have to do before flashing the ROM, we have to wipe the device. We are going to format data here and it will erase everything from your device. So be mindful about that. So you will write yes, as you can see here, yes, and you will press go and it will format everything from your device. So format it. Now you can flash custom ROM. Usually if you have SD card, you can copy over the ROM file and install it from installing here, and you can select the file and install it. Here I will use ADB site load method where you don't really need to copy the file over to your device. You can use command prompt to do that. So you'll go to advanced and ADB site load, and I will connect my device to my PC again. Now I will open the command prompt and I can search the device if it is connected or not. We can like search ADB devices. So as you can say here, ADB side load. So it is in side load mode on right now. Now we can flash ROM here. To flash the ROM, we can write ADB side load. Just drag and drop the file. So I'm going to flash Resurrection Remix ROM. So as you can see here, RR. So I will drag and drop here. So as you can see here, the path of the file is here right now, and we can press enter. So now the flashing process is started. You can see here. Now it will take about 1 or 2 minutes, depends on the device and the ROM you are flashing. It should not take long actually. And many ROMs doesn't come with GF, so you have to flash GFs separately. I don't really know this ROM coming with GFs or not. So the ROM is successfully flashed, as you can see, successful. Now we can disconnect the device from PC. We can reboot the system. So it will boot into the flashed ROM. So reboot system, swipe it. Now the first boot usually takes a little more than usual booting time because you have to like sort out the files and other things. So we can see the Resurrection Remix logo. So the device is booted up. As you can see here, now we are running Android 7.0 on our Samsung Galaxy J1. So I have been trying out this ROM whole day and the ROM is working perfectly fine actually. There are some issues as a custom ROM, but still it is much better than stock 4.4 ROM. So as you can see here, we are running Android 7.1.2 Nougat and it is working perfectly fine, no issue. So there are some issues which I have found. First of all, navigation buttons are not working, so you have to use on-screen buttons and you can turn them on directly from configuration setting. And if you go to gestures, buttons, navigation bar, so you have to enable the navigation bar, otherwise you can't navigate the device because the soft buttons are not working, although the home button is working. So as you can see here, home button is working, but other two buttons not working. So you can use on-screen buttons, and also having on-screen buttons, there are few functions you can get, like you can use these buttons in multiple purpose, and also if you double tap on the navigation bar, it will turn off the screen. That is another benefit of having on-screen navigation buttons, although we don't really have any kind of like double tap to turn on the display, anything like that. As you know, this device does not support actually double tap to work, so we don't really have that. But rather than that, everything seems to be working fine. As you can see here, my SIM card is also there and it is detecting signal, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and all those things working. So as you can see here, Wi-Fi is connecting now and it's connected. There is inbuilt browser which is updated and it works pretty fine. And I did install my favorite browser, VIA browser, which is the latest version of it, and it is working pretty well and much better than the stock one. As we are running on Android 7.1, we can install application and everything, but this ROM did not come with any kind of GApps. If you want GApps, you can flash on this device, but the device is going to be really slow if you install GApps here, and it will make the device pretty much useless. And also there is Magisk support. You have to flash the Magisk here. Actually, this one is pre-installed here. As you can see here, we don't really have that right now, but you have to flash it. Also, if you're running on Android 7.1, you can use NewPipe, which is one of my favorite application to watch YouTube videos. So this one is working perfectly fine. We can search and CS. And it is pretty smooth actually, although this device got only 512 MB of RAM. The device is running perfectly fine. So it can play 720p video without any kind of issue. And we do have a camera application here. It is also working. So you can see here, camera is working. So almost all the functions are working and the device is pretty much usable with this custom ROM. And although I did not try any kind of games here, because obviously it's a pretty old device, you can't really game here, but still maybe old games you can still play them here. But this is still pretty much usable device as for phone call, messaging and listening to the music. And also you can install Spotify right now. You can listen to the Spotify. So those kind of thing you can still do, and also you are getting decent browsing experience if you install a custom ROM. So if anyone wants to try this ROM on their Samsung J1, I will put the ROM link in the description below with all the files I used to flash the ROM. So that's all about it. And another thing about the flashing process, you can apply this flashing process on almost all the Samsung devices. It will work perfectly fine. You can follow the tutorial. So that's all about it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.